Science College of William & Mary. Our nation is making fast investments to protect ourselves from terrorism. As I see it, there's two ways to protect yourself from terrorism. You protect your soft targets, often at great expense, or you don't have soft targets. So a soft target is obviously something like a city or a power station or a centralized power grid, which is easy to take down, as we've seen from what happened in Turkey recently, or the New England thing that was caused by just one faulty generator that took down most.
Let me just ask you to get to the question. Thanks.
So in order to not have soft targets, which would be much cheaper than protecting soft targets in the long run, we could go to distributed power generation rather than having a centralized power grid and a very small number of power stations. What about having decentralized power generation?
And are you talking about wind and decentralized solar largely?
It doesn't matter how you generate the power as long as it doesn't go through a centralized power grid produced by a very small number of power stations, because that reduces your vulnerability.
I don't disagree with this concept. The ability for me to effectuate that is, way above my pay grade. Of course, I mean, it obviously makes sense not to put your assets in one place so that you can spread it out. I know there is some technology, as you know, going on. Babcock and Wilcox, we actually have companies in Virginia today. It's very small nuclear cables, small, tiny facilities, and they're looking at different options. Listen, the most exciting thing we have for us is wind and solar, I think. We've moved in warp speed over the last 14 months. We've got a long, long way to go. I've still got to prove that we can do this economically and deliver it economically. Because at the end of the day, the rate that folks pay at home, nothing affects them more than that monthly rate that they get. And I can tell you, you hear about it every single day. But, of course I'd be open to that.
So